Now, can we please welcome the infrastructure group?
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. My name is Paula, and I'm from the Western Cape in Grabouw, Apileni. Today, our topic we chose it was lack of infrastructure. Sometimes in rural areas, we are facing challenges which are and affects our living standards. And I have some few of my intentions so I can use, like libraries. We have a lack of libraries in our community. We need more libraries for children that needs to learn and wants to learn and want to be a brighter future. And internet cafe. We need more technologies in our environment. For example, telephone booths for people that doesn't have cell phones, for people that needs to get in community with people in other communities. And we have a lack of clinics and hospitals. We need, for people that are old, like our grandparents and their people, their siblings, they need to get the real medication. And when sometimes they don't even make it to the hospitals because they have to walk kilometers away from their houses. And that's my last point is bus stations. We have a lack of bus stations in our places because people need to travel with cars to the bus stations. And that even takes also kilometers to get there. And thank you.
Clap once, clap once, clap twice. Good morning. Ausheni, Huyemore, Dumelang. My name is Kateko Benediction Maolobela from Lipompo. And I'm here to continue on the challenges which us the youth face due to the lack of infrastructure. So the first issue is lack of schools. You'll find that in many villages around Limpopo and in South Africa as a whole, there are no schools. So the children from those villages have to walk long distances in order to get their education and reach schools. And then the second one is the issue of safe parks. We do have safe parks, but our safe parks, some of them do not have fences. So the children's safety is not being secured. Because you find that even gangsters, if they have committed a crime, they will run through the safe parks, and it puts the children's lives in danger. So the third thing is that we need better houses. There are some of us here, we sleep in houses which have been cracked. So our lives are not safe because during rainy seasons, you'll find that the house could collapse anytime. So the fourth thing is proper roads. You'll find that in rainy seasons, vehicles cannot move around and mobilate around our villages. So if a person gets sick and then you call an ambulance cannot arrive on time, and then a person can even die. So my last but not least problem is the issue of traffic lights. There are many accidents in our country. So if we can implement many traffic lights, I think that problem can be reduced. And ladies and gentlemen, before I go, I just want to tell you that remember that all these words are voices of a child. Thank you.
Greetings to everyone who's part of this conference. I'm Princess Khoza from Mpumalanga. I'm here to talk about the rights of infrastructure. First, I have a right to shelter. We all have the right to shelter. No child doesn't have a right for shelter. No child is even allowed to live in the street. No child is allowed to be a street kid. Another right I have a right to education. I have the right to have information, for knowledge. I have the right to prepare for my future. The water and sanitation. We all have the right to have clean water. Some of the people living in rural areas don't get clean water. They fetch water from the dams, which are not clean, unhygienic. Another point that I have here is healthy care. We all deserve to get healthy medication and equal medication. None among us has to be discriminated and say, you get this medication and you get the better medication. Thank you.
Good morning to everyone. My name is Amanda Nene and I come all the way from KZN, the city of summer vacation. I'm here to represent lack of resources. More books in existent libraries, more mobile libraries, which means that in some rural areas, as youth and forum members, we have noticed that in our rural areas, we have libraries, but they're far and they don't have enough books. So we need more books and mobile libraries near our homes. And citizens telephones booths, which means that some of the people in rural areas, they don't have cell phones like the cell phones that we have living in in cities. So we need those telephones so they can use, so they can call when they need help. Computers, laptops, and community projects, which means that us in rural areas, when we live there, we don't have enough Wi-Fi, internet, and we don't even know how to use laptops. And when we go to high schools in cities, we don't know how to use those things. So, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tabile, my surname is Msomi. I come from the one and only province that has a summer vacation. Sports and recreation equipment. In our communities, we do have sports and we do have places where we can play sports, but we need sports equipment. More qualified teachers in schools, method of teaching and shortage of teachers. I agree, we do have teachers that are qualified in our communities or in our schools, but they do not do their work in a given time. They just do their job in a short time or in a last minute, and they give us last minute homeworks or classworks. Lack of teaching aids, chemical laboratories. We don't have enough facilitators for those who are studying. For example, for those who are studying physical science. I thank you.
Okay. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bitoka from the Northern Cape region. I'm going to talk about the rights that are being violated due to the lack of resources. The rights are as follows. Every person has the right to safety and security. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that every citizen have the right to be protected and to be kept safe. Every child has the right to dignity and privacy. Every child has the right to be listened and to be taken very seriously. Every child has the right to relax, play, and take part in activities we need to play in the safe places. Every child has the right to a standard of living that is a good to meet their physical, social, and mental needs. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tolwana Mohali. I am from the Northwest. I am standing in front of you to represent the actions that could be taken by the youth in order to combat the lack of infrastructure. Firstly, we could select a youth committee that could cooperate with the child care team to advocate for youth and families for their resources and rights. Secondly, we could inform our councillors of our infrastructural needs and discuss a reasonable time frame for delivery. The third point that is possible is that as other police stations are far away from the communities, it would be better if the SAPS team would come in our communities to patrol, to keep order and be around neighborhoods in case of emergency. The other possible way would be to go to our community radio stations and other media to express the challenges encountered. The last but not least would be to fundraise for families whose houses are not in good state, for example, mud houses. We could get through this by the help of the Department of Housing in our municipalities. I thank you.
Yes. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cindy Magazi, and I'm from the Northern Cape. Oh yes, the Diamond City. Okay. I'm here to present to you the action that we as the youth are willing to take against the lack of resources we have in our different communities and in our different provinces. The first one, we have a lack of network towers. The action that we are willing to take is that we are able to reach out to different network providers for them to enable free Wi-Fi and internet. And by that, it will give us, the youth, a chance to perform better in our school levels. And the second point is that to vote for change through active leadership. I'm going to give over to my colleague Tato.
Good morning, everyone. I am Tato from Free State in Belfontein, and today I'm going to present actions that we could take to say no to lack of resources. In South Africa, we have a very serious lack of resources. The actions we could do to avoid the lack of resources is to select communities, children, and adults to have a meeting, address the skills of teachers. The second one that we could do is to communicate. We must advocate the Department of Health and South African Police to get GPS so that they can be able to find where they are going to provide services. People, we must work together to say no to lack of resources. Thank you.
Greetings to you all. My name is Angelisa Mason Ms. Busakwe. I'm coming from Northeastern Cape region. I'm going to talk about the support of lack of infrastructure. Support from our child and youth care team or group. Child and youth care team can support us by going to the Department of Infrastructure and other different departments to let them know and to release our issue to them, which is the lack of infrastructure, like roads, traffic, street light, and library. As a young people, we are not allowed to any assist to go to speak to the mayor or the councillor. Therefore, the child and youth care team can arrange a meeting with them for us to release our infrastructure challenges. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Tlantla Matibela, all the way from Mpumalanga, the place of the rising sun. Here to present about the support the child and youth care team and committees can offer to the to us as the youth, due in regards to the lack of resources issue. The first thing they can do, they can take us to radio stations so that we can showcase our lack of resources issues and solutions to those issues. They can also arrange meetings with network providers and other funders. They can also assist us with fundraising to meet the lack of resources that needs to be met, like Wi-Fi, telephone towers, and etc. Lastly, they can also assist raise the issue of lack of school equipment like computers, books, as mentioned earlier, to the Department of Education so that it assists us as the youth. Thank you.